Good morning, everyone. Just wanted to test my sound really quickly.
Sounds good to me.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you, Liz. And good morning to everyone joining. We will get started around 8 a.m.
Good morning.
Good morning, Nora.
Hello.
Hello. How are you
Great.
on this chilly Tuesday morning?
Do I have an echo?
Do you have an echo?
You don't, but I did. Now I don't. Okay, so I'm good. You can hear me okay, Halima? Okay. All right, I'm gonna go and good morning to our very early attendees. Look at that, 10 attendees. All right, I'm gonna go off for a second, but I just wanted to double check that it worked. And then Halima, just so you know, and Liz, I'm going to be here at this beginning time and then get us through till introducing the presenters. And then if I'm not back when the presenters are done, Emily's going to take over and kind of do the second part of the agenda, because that is right when the bus comes. So I'm gonna possibly make it back. If not, then Emily and Chris handle the second part, and they know all of that.
Sounds good. Thank you.
And we've got Andres too as well, right? Can you just confirm, is it Andre or Andres?
It's Andreas.
Andre, yes.
Andre, yes.
Okay. 3 syllables. Got it. Okay, thank you. Good morning, Kristen. Thanks for being here.
Hi, Nora. Thank you for inviting us to be here. Appreciate it.
There we go. Great. Well, thank you. We're thrilled you guys are both here. And just letting you know too, so I'm going to do the first part, and then if I'm not back, Emily can kind of help with the either Q&A or the kind of wrap up the other end of the presentation. So
Okay. Yeah. And Avril and I are going to share the responsibilities this morning. So she'll be finishing our presentation. So does
Great.
she need to throw it back to somebody, or can she just kind of conclude and whoever needs to will pick it up?
Yep, she could just be done. That's fine. Luckily, NiceDeck is here, and NiceDeck makes everything go smoothly. So I can't imagine there would be any problem. She can just kind of end, and if Emily doesn't pick it up, one of our NiceDeck team can also pick it up.
Great.
Good morning,
Thanks.
Andreas. How is our sound on your end?
Yep.
He says thumbs up. Is that what I heard, Liz? Okay.
Yep. Anybody who's in the Spanish channel can hear him speaking and the English side as well.
Fantastic. Good morning, Andrea.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Good.
There you are. Hi, good morning. Thanks for being here.
Of
Thrilled that you
course.
guys are doing this.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Yes. And we've got already 49 attendees. Good morning to our attendees. We'll get started a few minutes after 8, but we are excited that you guys are early.
Right?
And they can hear us, just so you know, but we can't hear them. And then our Andreas is, we checked the interpretation, so hopefully that is going okay. We can't hear him. You guys know, I think you guys did a run through, right?
Yes.
Great. I tend
Thank
to
you.
talk very fast, so just a reminder not to talk fast
Okay.
so that Andreas can,
Keep up.
that's right, so we don't throw 10,000 things at Andreas.
Sounds good. Thank you.
And then who's the dial-in number? Ends in a 24. Hmm.
That's Jim. Good
Hi,
morning.
Jim. Hi, Jim. Good morning. Fantastic. So, Halima, I don't see Emily yet. And I don't know if she's in with attendees for some reason, maybe. Just checking. Okay.
She does not seem to be, but we'll wait and then get started.
Okay. Here she is. Good morning, Emily. Hmm. I couldn't hear you that great. Can you come a little closer, maybe, or?
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it just the panel right now that can hear us?
No, everybody can hear us. You do sound pretty far away, just FYI. Right. So good morning, everyone. It is 1 minute after 8. And so we'll get started probably at about 8:03, 8:04, in just a few minutes. We've got lots of folks still coming in. So thank you so much for being here. We'll get started shortly.
Yes, in the future.
All right, we have a very full agenda. So Halima and team, I think we'll get started and just go slow while people are still joining at the beginning. Does that sound like a good idea?
Yes, absolutely. Let's get started.
Buenos días.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the October Community Conversations with the Division of Child Care Services, where the topic today is Empire State Family Child Care Collaborative and NYA EYC Shared Services.
Bienvenidos a todos a la División de Servicios de Cuidado Infantil con ustedes, invitados.
I was going to say, Halima, we can hear Andres, and now I have them back. Oh no.
Sorry, Nora, could you repeat that?
Yep, when you were off mute, there was an echo. So now that you're muted, there's not. So I can do this screen if you want me to. Okay. All right. Good morning, everyone. If you are joining us and would like to hear the presentation in Spanish, interpreted in Spanish, the directions are to go to the small globe that's in the lower left corner, and you can switch the language that you're listening to Spanish, either hearing our interpreter Andreas or hearing the original audio of the presenters. So you can switch back and forth. It's the small globe in the lower left corner. So this morning, because we have a large presentation, all our lines are muted right now. We are recording this presentation and we will make it available in English and in Spanish on the OCFS website. Our interpreter is Andreas this morning. Thank you so much, Andreas, for joining us. And so we have encouraged presenters to make sure that we are not rushing through our presentations. And so if there's a small gap in between the slides, we are making sure that folks who are listening in Spanish are caught up to the content today. All right, so we're thrilled to have so many of you here this morning. My name is Nora Yates. I'm the Deputy Commissioner at the New York State Office of Children and Family Services in the Division of Child Care Services. We are thrilled to host community conversations for child care providers every other month and provide OCFS updates. And we have received several questions on child care assistance programs. So we'll be providing updates on the child care assistance program. We're thrilled to have special presenters here today about some initiatives and new initiatives going on, the Empire State Family Child Care Collaborative, as well as our partners at NYAEYC about the Shared Services Alliance. So Andrea Ryberg, and it says Andrea Baker, but it's Kristen Kerr and Avril, I believe, who are presenting. And then we do have updates and reminders at the end of the presentation. We do have a Slido if you want to play along. This is, you can use your phone, which I will do right now. So we can see who is here. Slido is just you can go via your phone and tell us, are you a daycare center director, teacher, assistant, a family childcare provider, a group family childcare provider, legally exempt provider, school age, or other. And so you can just click your who's in the room today, and we get a good glimpse of our attendees. And it updates it live, so we're get a little peek into who's joining. Unfortunately, the technology doesn't allow us to keep everything open. They keep changing the technology. But it looks like we've got a lot of daycare center directors and teachers, a lot of group family childcare providers, and school age here as well. That's fantastic, but it looks like every category of folks are here. And lots of others. Like myself, I am an other. Thank you to the 57 who have played along. If the other 100 or so want to join, you can still join using your phone and using the QR code on the left-hand side. It is not required, but just getting a sense of who's here today. And it's early. We understand. You don't have to do it if it's too early. We still have lots of folks answering, so we're going to leave it up one more second. All right. So we can, thank you for playing along. And it looks like we do in fact have every modality of providers here today, which is great. We can go on to the next slide. So just quickly, what region you're in. And so the question should have changed on your phone. And so you can quickly tell us what region you're in. It's not a competition. Oftentimes there's a competition. It is not a competition. We have a lot of Western New York folks joining us this morning. Fantastic. Syracuse region. Looks like every single region has clicked a button. That's great. So we've achieved statewide status. Syracuse definitely taken the lead, though not a competition. And welcome everybody who just joined. This is a voluntary snapshot to see who's here and joining us this morning. So if you'd like to play along, you can use your phone and the QR code on the left-hand side. I guess it's right-hand side if I'm giving you the wrong directions. All right. Definitely have achieved statewide. Thank you so much for playing along. And it also gives our presenters a good snapshot of who's here as well. So thank you for that. So just as a reminder about community conversations and what we're doing here today, These are held every other month and simultaneous interpretation in Spanish. And then we post the content, the slides, as well as the recording on the OCFS website. So you can, if you miss one or if your colleagues have missed one, you can always go onto the website and those are posted as well. Oh, that's what I said. Great. If you do have suggestions about topics, you can send us an email about possible topics for the future. And so the email address is here. Please put community conversations in the subject line. And we're happy to either address questions or, pull in some of our colleagues like Andrea and Kristen and Avril for presentations and starring roles on the community conversations. 212 of you, that's fantastic. All right, I'm gonna pass it off to my colleague, I believe it's Meredith Infantino and Emily Meyer. We're gonna start off with childcare assistance updates.
Thank you, Nora. Good morning, everyone. My name is Emily Meyer. I'm an associate commissioner here at the New York State Office of Children and Family Services, excuse me, in the Division of Child Care Services. As Nora mentioned earlier, we have been receiving several questions about the Child Care Assistance Program. So just wanted to make everyone on the call aware of some great resources that we here at OCFS post. So at the link at the bottom of this screen, you'll see we have a child care data page. And on this data page, we have a specific child care assistance program data section. Posts several different data sets where you can see our CCAT monthly spending updates, how many children are served every month, and that broken down by district, and several other helpful data sets that you can use when having conversations with your families or with your local district. Next slide. So this is an example of the CCAT monthly case and child counts by district data set that's posted. And as you can see, you can drill down by the month. We have a guaranteed and non-guaranteed case types. And you can see how many children were served in New York City, in the rest of state, and then drill down specifically by each county. We have these numbers by families and children. And again, that's the data set that you can access on the OCFS Child Care Data page under the CCAT data section. Next slide, please. And this is another great data resource that we have on our website. We get lots of questions on the status of local districts, whether they're denying cases or have a wait list. And so we at OCFS survey the local districts on a monthly basis, where we ask them if they have been opening cases, do they have a wait list, how many families are on their wait list, how long have those families been on the wait list. And then for districts that may not be at that point yet, we ask them if they're considering denying cases or implementing a wait list in the next month. So this information is updated monthly and is posted on our website. And please, I encourage you to use it as a resource, again, when we're talking to families and your local district partners. I know we don't have the Q&A function on WebEx has been disabled because it's not a function of WebEx anymore. But please, if you do have questions, I encourage you to ask them. There's that ocfs.sn.dccsinfo@ocfs.ny.gov. And we'll be happy to answer them at the next community conversations. Excuse me. So with that, I will turn our attention to the bulk of our presentation this morning, which is a discussion on the Empire State Child Care Collaborative and NACCE Shared Services. And we have with us today Andrea Ryberg, Kristen Kerr, and Avril Mills, who will be walking us through this presentation. So thank you so much for being with us today, and we're very excited to learn more about these initiatives. So thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Andrea Ryberg. I am the Director of Child Care Supply at the Early Care and Learning Council, and it's my pleasure to share with you today a new initiative that the Early Care and Learning Council has started in conjunction with the Child Care Resource Centers across New York State. It's called the Empire State Family Child Care Collaborative. I'm going to be telling you a little bit today about what the collaborative is, how it can support you, and how you can join it. So this is our agenda for today. I'm really excited to share this with you because this is a project that personally impacted and improved my life as a child care center director. And I've been working for the last couple years to bring this initiative to many of you across New York State. And I'm so pleased that OCFS has funded this and made it available to many family and group family childcare providers in New York. I'm really excited to tell you about how it can support you, help you to lighten the load of incredible work that you do, and tell you a little bit about the impact that it had on other childcare providers in New York State a couple years ago when we did a pilot of it. So let's get started. We're going to talk first about what is the Empire State Family Childcare Collaborative. And that name sounds a little bit confusing, so I want to back things up a little bit and just ask you a few questions. The first one is, have you ever felt like you are doing more work than you can possibly imagine getting done in a day? Have you ever felt like this work is gotta be some easier way to do this? There has got to be a way to make this faster. There's got to be a way to make this more efficient. Have you ever felt like, gosh, I know other people are doing similar work to me. I wish I could share ideas with them and find out what other people are doing to make this easier and more sustainable for themselves. I'm imagining that you have felt at least one of those things before. I started and ran my own child care center in Michigan. And about 10 years ago, I was in a position of feeling like I'm spinning my wheels. I don't know why this is so difficult, besides the fact that it's really critical and challenging work. But I felt like there had to be a way to make it more efficient for myself. And I knew that other people, lots of other people, were doing the same thing. And so that turned into doing something similar to what the Empire State Family Childcare Collaborative is. The collaborative is a network that is made possible by OCFS and the CCRCs. And what this network does is allow you to have a direct support system to help alleviate the operational burdens that you have and the health and wellness burdens that you have by giving you a dedicated staff member to work with you and coach you to support you in making changes to your business operations, and also by leveraging technology to make your work more just efficient. So you can see here listed on this slide that we have 2 goals for this network. The first goal is to improve financial well-being. So participants in the Empire State Family Child Care Collaborative, we are hoping to see increased revenue in your program, decreased costs, and increased access to retirement planning resources. So you can help you plan for your future and help you to feel like this is something that I've been working so incredibly hard at in my life, and now I have this opportunity to relax. The second set of outcomes that this initiative is designed to accomplish is to improve your physical and mental well-being. Every day across New York, childcare providers like yourselves, you're pouring out everything you can into your business, into your classrooms. You need to feel like this is something you could continue to do because we need you in this work. So this initiative is designed to help you to save time, create efficiencies, and ultimately reduce your stress, connect you to other childcare providers so that you feel less isolated, and lastly, help you to access healthcare resources so you feel like you can take advantage of what's available to you and in the most affordable way. Next slide, please. So let me get a little bit more into the details of how this collaborative is going to lighten your load and talk about the reach of this initiative. So firstly, I mentioned that this is an initiative that has recently been funded by OCFS. Starting July 1st, 31 of New York's 35 resource centers, childcare resource centers, receive funding to host Empire State Family Child Care Collaborative networks. So these are the CCRCs that you know and have worked with for a long time across the state. All of our CCRCs that are funded to do this are excited to work with you to kind of take an additional step to provide additional support to you. Before I go any further and describe what that looks like, I want to share that our CCRCs in New York City, in the 5 boroughs of New York, do not have funding to run these networks. There are already family child care networks in New York City for family and group family child care providers. So this is a new opportunity that didn't exist before in the rest of the state. So what does the network do for you? Number one, it gives you a dedicated business coach. So the network is available to you to help you to improve your day-to-day operations, to help you feel like this is more efficient. I have an opportunity to talk with other people doing similar work to me, and to take a look at the information about your program with this coach and make decisions based off that information to help you improve your operations. The second thing that this initiative does is help to give you access to childcare management software for free. We partnered with 2 different childcare management software companies, Brightwheel and Playground, and the networks offer one or both of those softwares for you to choose from. The software allows you to really realize a lot more saved time. And that's because what it does is help you to keep track of your family billing, keep track of your food program documentation, you keep track of enrollment and vacancies that you have. And then by looking at the information in that software, working with your coach, that's where you're really going to get in to be able to make improvements in how you're operating day to day. Once you get started with using that software and working with your coach, The last component of how these networks are really, really supportive is that they help you by doing one or more business services on your behalf. So what do I mean by business service? Something like having the coach do some marketing and enrollment work for you. Having the coach support you in preparing for tax season. It could be something like having the coach work with you and other providers in your network to find and share the payments for a snow plowing service or a gardening service, lawn maintenance service in the summer. The networks will decide together, each network, what business services they want most. So these three things combined are really designed to help you to take charge of your day-to-day operations in your business, make it more efficient, and then have some additional help doing some of the work of your business, like having that basically a dedicated person to support you with your business services. Let's go to the next slide. And I'm going to talk a little bit about where the idea for this network came from. So I mentioned that I was a family child care that I was a child care center director in Michigan. I was never a family child care provider, but I started and ran this child care center in Michigan. And part of what I did after a few years was work with a few other center directors in our town to apply for funding to start a network. And when I moved back to New York State and started working for the Early Care and Learning Council, it was so amazing to have an opportunity to work with federal grant money from the Federal Birth to Five grant and the New York State Council on Family, Children and Families. And what we did was do a pilot of this Empire State Family Child Care Collaborative. We called it the Next Level Provider Collaborative, though, and this was in 2022. There were 5 childcare resource centers involved in this pilot, and you could see them listed here on your screen. This pilot lasted for just 1 year, all of 2022, and we had over 80 childcare providers apply, and we, as part of this pilot, did some really extensive evaluation of the impact of it. What difference did this make for people in their day-to-day lives? So I want to go to the next slide and share with you what we found. So the University of SUNY Albany, they're the ones that did the research, and they found out that there was a very significant increase in income in the programs that participated, and there was a time savings. So just in this 1 year in 2022, and really it was 9 months because it took 3 months for people to start applying and participating in their networks. But in those 9 months, participants reported saving 45 minutes of time per week on average, and participants reported an additional $2,200 per month on average compared to the beginning of the pilot. All of the programs in our pilot were family or group family child care providers, which is also the group that's eligible for the Empire State Family Child Care Collaborative now. So that $2,200 a month of additional revenue each month, that adds up to over $24,000 a year. That's a really significant increase in income. So we were so excited to see these results. I think that I also saw similar results in the childcare center that I had in Michigan. And so I was feeling like this was really going to work when we did it in 2022, and to see it actually work for providers, bring additional money into their programs, and also save them time was just so exciting. So over the last couple of years, some of these pilot sites have continued, and CCRCs and the Early Care and Learning Council, we've talked with OCFS about this and shared this information. And that's what's so exciting to see now that we've been able to expand this statewide. And I just have a little bit more to share with you today about the pilot, and that's just what other people found to be useful. So if you can go to the next slide, I have pulled together some quotes from people who participated in our 2022 pilot about the impact that participation had. And then I'm going to show you how you can apply. So the pilot had, again, we had over 80 people apply. It's a small pilot. And this final evaluation had about 70 people participating. We're really excited to share that, over 90% of the people that participated said that the network met or exceeded expectations. And then people had some very specific feedback that they gave about how participating helped them. And one person said, I now feel we're more professional. Parents had real-time updates with infants and children, and they've commented on how professional we are. So that those real-time updates come from the child care management software. That's one of the big components of participating in the network. Another provider said they have been here every step of the way, teaching, entering, answering calls, helping parents. I couldn't have done this without them. I think that really speaks to, like I mentioned, having that dedicated coach that's there to support you and help you to make decisions about running your business. Another person said, I got to meet a lot of other providers in the area. That's so important because, again, this is work that you're doing that's absolutely critical in the community. And it does feel isolating sometimes. Getting a chance to meet with other people, make shared decisions with them of like what business service we're going to ask the network to do for us, that's really empowering. And it also helps you to feel like I can keep going with this because I have coworkers across this area that are doing the same work that I am. Another person mentioned about the child care management software, that they love this program. It makes everything so easy, especially parent communications. If you've never used child care management software before, you probably haven't experienced that. But if you have used it, it's absolutely true that the parent communications are so much easier using this type of software. And then lastly, I have one other quote that I pulled from the evaluation here. One of our child care providers said, this has been an amazing opportunity. They rely on us and we're able to give them a lot more specialized services. And so it's exciting to be able to see how this worked in 2022 and then now have this opportunity available to all of the family and group family child care providers outside of New York City. So if you want to go to the next slide, I have a QR code here about how to apply for the network. And if any of this has piqued your interest and you thought, I do want to think about my business more closely, I want to know how I can make things more efficient, I want to work with someone one-on-one to be able to make those changes, this network might be for you, and we'd be so excited to have you join the Empire State Family Child Care Collaborative. So my email address is here, and there is a QR code that you can scan and fill out the application. It's a simple application, probably take you about 10 minutes. And just applying, it doesn't commit you to anything. What it will do is get you in touch with the coach in your local community. So that's why I want to encourage you to do it, because that way you can get a chance to talk with them, find out more about what they're offering. I have a few words that I want to say in closing before I pass off the presentation to New York AEYC, Kristen and Avril. So the two things I wanted to mention is, firstly, this is an opportunity for you to improve your work. It's meant to save you time and bring more money into your program, as well as support you with accomplishing and having the health and wellness that you need to be successful and continue this work. The second thing that I want to remind you of is that this program is really focused on how to support you in your day-to-day business So if you're ready for that type of additional support and challenge, please go ahead and sign up, and we'd be really excited to talk to you more about it. I would just want to thank all of you for listening in today, and I really appreciate the opportunity to talk with you. Thank you for the amazing work that you're doing with children and families across the state. And with that, I'm going to pass it off to New York AEYC.
Thank you, Andrea. Appreciate it. So
You're
good morning,
welcome.
everybody. I'm Kristen Kerr. I'm the Executive Director for the New York Association for the Education of Young Children. We are a professional membership organization for early childhood educators with approximately 2,000 members across the state. And our membership is very diverse in terms of including people who work in all different aspects of early childhood education, including family childcare educators, assistant teachers, lead teachers, directors, administrators, higher education faculty preparing our future workforce. So we have a very diverse membership. We are also the state affiliate of the National Association for the Education of Young Children, which is often referred to as NAEYC or NAEYC. So we really work to promote excellence in early care and education through professional learning for early childhood educators, providing supports and resources based on best practices to programs and educators, and then also through our policy work with both our state and national partners. So I'm really excited to be here today and want to thank the Office of Children and Family Services for including us in today's community conversation. And I'm joined by my colleague, Avril Mills, who is the Professional Development Director for New York AEYC, and I'm going to invite her into the conversation in a few minutes. But we're excited to be here to talk about the New York Early Learning Alliance. So I think a lot of what I'm going to share is going to sound a little bit familiar. We are structured slightly differently than the Empire State Child Care Collaborative that you just heard about. So the New York Early Learning Alliance launched in 2021. So if you will think back to that time, we were in the midst of the pandemic. And so one of the things that makes our initiative a little bit different is that we are very centralized. Our infrastructure is very centralized. So we're based in Albany. So we do the majority of our work virtually. Our Alliance staff works remotely with our members, really on individualized coaching and business goal setting, working towards, again, improving many of the things that Andrea just addressed. So if we could move on to the next slide. So like Andrea, I also served as a center-based administrator, but unlike Andrea, I did not have the benefit of being a part of a shared services alliance. It wasn't something I really learned about until I came to this role. But immediately saw the power and the opportunity in creating a shared services alliance to support early childhood education programs across New York State. And these really were the guiding principles for us as we thought about and started our work in terms of launching the New York Early Learning Alliance. They really govern every choice we make in terms of the supports and resources that we provide and the coaching that we do. And we truly believe that when these guiding principles are in place, programs thrive and children flourish. Next slide, please. So I think we can all agree that there's some universal challenges. Again, I think this is something that Andrea addressed earlier, that we all face, and we could all use a little more time in our day and probably a little more money in our bank account. And that's exactly what the New York Early Learning Alliance works with programs to help them do. So we really started with two primary goals. One was, how do we free up time for family childcare educator owners, and center-based administrators. So again, that's a little bit different than the Family Childcare Collaborative. We do work with both group and family childcare programs as well as center-based programs. So this is an opportunity for centers to consider as well. And so we were really looking at how do we free up some of that time by streamlining administrative tasks, again, through the use of technology and individualized support and coaching. And so some of the things that we learned through the application data that we had for the Alliance was that only 36% of the applicants to the Alliance were using any kind of accounting software or childcare management system. And up to 17% actually said they had no formal system in place to track income and expenses. And in terms of time, 39% of the family childcare providers that have applied for the Alliance over the last few years said they were spending on average 7 hours outside of their business operation hours on administrative tasks. Half of the center-based administrators said they were spending more than 60% of their time on administrative tasks, with as many as 25% saying they were spending 100% on their administrative tasks. Now, sometimes that depends on the role and the responsibilities that they have in that role. But I think we can all agree that most of us did not step into this field to work on administrative tasks. We really wanted to support children's learning and development. Our second goal was to help programs ensure that they were more financially stable. And we do this by helping them address what's known as the iron triangle in childcare. And that really is around, what that essentially means is that programs need to maintain full enrollment, collect all tuition and fees, and ensure that their tuition rates do cover that per child cost. And that is so critical because we know how tight the margins are in childcare. And on average, our Alliance applicants actually reported only collecting about 60% of those fees and tuitions owed to them each month. Next slide, please. So I don't think any of these will come as any big surprise to those of you joining us today. These are common things that we hear in terms of some of the biggest challenges facing programs today. And you'll see at the top is 46% identify it's difficult to manage all of the, completing all of the administrative tasks that people are responsible for. Hiring is also a big issue, we know, for programs and maintaining a full staff. Again, fee collection has, as bared out by the data, is a challenge. And then also, you know, we also hear about navigating the child care assistance program in terms of making sure that all of the required documentation and information is available and provided in a timely way. So I think one of the things to keep in mind here is that these are not unique or specific to a handful of programs, but these challenges really are identified universally. And so the New York Early Learning Alliance is designed to respond directly to these needs, offering practical solutions and supports that are tailored to what programs are facing. Next slide, please. So like the Empire State Child Care Collaborative, we really are looking to leverage technology to help programs, program administrators, owner educators address these time challenges around administrative tasks and streamline operations through automation. You know, we also found that a number of our programs weren't utilizing technology as much as they could. And so we have two technology partners that we work with. Our first is our childcare management system. And we work with a childcare management system called Alliance Core, which is provided by Early Learning Ventures, which is a nonprofit organization in Colorado that actually operates programs and operates a shared services alliance. So that was one of the reasons we decided to go with that. We also wanted to make sure that while we are providing these technologies at no cost for the first 2 years to our alliance members, that they were affordable and able to be sustained beyond that. And so we looked for a technology partner that provided a reasonable monthly cost. So for example, for family childcare educators, the current cost of Alliance Core is about $300 a year. And so again, by leveraging technology, increasing the income that programs are receiving, we were confident that they could afford to offset that cost beyond the 2 years that we're providing that support. And so this does many of the things that we've already talked about in terms of really helping programs work to maintain their best business practices, ensure that they're tracking income, and collecting all of those tuition and fees, but also maintaining licensing compliance, tracking all of the records and things that you need to track, ensuring that enrollment is efficient and smooth. And one of the things that we did with our technology partner at Early Learning Ventures is we actually built a data bridge between Alliance Core and the time and attendance system to allow reconciliation to happen through Alliance Core and then be shared through that data bridge. So this has proven to be an enormous time saver for programs, especially those who have, many families receiving childcare assistance. And again, our goal really is to help free up time so that people can focus on what's most important, and that is the children and families that you're working with and serving. Next slide, please. So again, like the Child Care Collaborative, we do work to assist programs with marketing and enrollment and waitlist management. And we do this through our second technology partner, which is Kinside. And so they really help to automate all of the aspects of marketing your program and matching your program with families that are seeking childcare in your area. And so it helps to grow and manage wait lists. It keeps it organized and up to date in real time. So the information that you're sharing with families is updated and current and not something you have to do on an ongoing basis manually. It connects families that are looking for childcare with your program, and it eliminates the need to fill those spots manually. It also can help set tours automatically so families can book based on your availability. And then once families make the decision to move from looking at your program to enrolling in your program, it helps to automate that enrollment process and share that enrollment information with Alliance Core so that all of that becomes automated and again is an enormous time saver. So in addition, I think we have also found that our Alliance members really benefit from being part of a professional network. So in addition to the individualized coaching and business supports that each of our Alliance members receives from our Alliance staff and technology partners, we also work to create a sense of a professional community through monthly group meetings that are topical and timely and based on things that they have asked for. We also connect them with professional learning opportunities that we offer both through New York AEYC, but are also being offered through our state partners. We work really, really hard to keep them up to date on any changes that are happening. So it's a way, it's an information sharing opportunity. And I think as Andrea alluded to, one of the really big benefits is their connection to one another and the support that they become for one another. So even though we are a statewide alliance that works virtually, our members are very connected and have really benefited through that connection with one another. And so they not only receive supports from our alliance staff, but from each other, which is so important in the work that we do. And then one of our other really big benefits we feel is our access to what we call New York Early Learning Resources. And this is a shared services platform that has a number of resources available that are specific to and tailored for childcare programs, both center-based and family childcare, and really help to, again, save time. And I'm going to turn it over to my colleague Avril Mills in just a moment to share a little bit more about that. But one of the things that we did recently was we established what we called Tier 2 in our alliance. So we had a number of people coming to us applying for the alliance who were already using a child care management system, but wanted to benefit from all of the other things that we've talked about. And so they're not necessarily, they're not utilizing the technology that we provide, but they are benefiting from all of the other aspects of the alliance, like the group meetings, the connection to professional learning, and New York Early Learning Resources. So I'm going to turn it over now to Avril to talk a little bit more in depth about New York Early Learning Resources. I appreciate your time today and all of the work that you do, and thanks so much for your time.
Thank you, Kristen. And we'll go to the next slide. I am very excited to talk to everybody today about New York Early Learning Resources. As Kristen stated, it's an extremely powerful tool available to our Alliance members as well as New York AEYC members. This online platform is tailored to the business of early care and education and designed really to save you time, reduce costs, and improve program quality. This resource-rich site is a one-stop location for early childhood education policies, forms, regulations, guidance, and discounts. It includes editable handbooks and policy templates that are tailored to New York State regulations, hiring support through early learning jobs, business management tools like budget templates, fee collection guides, and strategic planning resources, compliance support with licensing, health and safety, and accreditation standards, marketing and enrollment tools, including brochures, emails, templates, waitlist management guides, family engagement resources, such as conference guides, surveys, and culturally responsive materials, as well as nutrition and CACFP support, including meal patterns, allergy policies, and healthy menu ideas. This is a benefit that's available to Tier 1 and Tier 2 of the New York Early Learning Alliance to help run a more efficient and high quality program. Next slide, please. So Alliance members gain access to this powerful suite of tools and discounts through the New York Early Learning Resource Hub. It's designed to support every aspect of running a high quality childcare program. This program goes far beyond basic savings. It's a comprehensive business support system. So you can see these are the tabs that you would see when you logged into the site, and each one has specific tools under them, and I'm just going to highlight a couple under each. So under the business and strategic planning, there's budget planning templates and tuition rate guides. Under human resources and staffing, there's editable employee handbooks and orientation onboarding toolkits. Compliance and licensing has health and safety policies. Family engagement and communication has family conference guides, culturally responsive materials, as well as editable family handbooks. Marketing enrollment has email marketing tips, tuition notification letters. Nutrition and CACFP support has the menus, recipes, as well as CACFP reimbursement rates and eligibility guides. And then the biggest benefit that our members most talk about are the cost-saving discounts. Members save between 10 and 45% on childcare products and supplies for their programs, as well as food and food service items, payroll and HR services, and office supplies. So through this, we also have a partnership within the platform with Optima Health Benefits. Through that, Alliance members can access telemedicine, teletherapy, virtual primary care and dermatology, dental and vision insurance, critical illness and accident insurance, just to name a few. These benefits help programs attract and retain quality staff while supporting their well-being without the administrative burden of managing it all on your own. Next slide, please.
I'm so sorry, but I am going to have to cut you off right there. We have a couple more OCFS slides that we need to get to, and then we unfortunately only have 3 minutes left. So can we switch over to those closing slides, please?
Would it be helpful, Avril and Kristen, just to show the QR code quickly?
Sure, that would be great. So that we have the QR codes here for the New York 8 UIC website and the New York Early Learning website, which you can find additional information as well as direct emails to contact. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you. And thank you both, Andrea, Kristen, and Avril, for the important presentation. And, you know, please reach out if you have any additional questions. We're really excited that you guys were able to join us this morning. Sorry, we ran out of time, but we do try and like to get folks out right at 9. So as always, we usually end these presentations with some news you can use. So just wanted to make everyone aware that we at OCFS have recently launched a childcare provider survey. This is a new survey of licensed, registered, and permitted childcare providers. And we're asking questions about things like staffing levels, salaries, and enrollment. The survey was launched on October 8th, and you can take the survey up until November 7th. And I would encourage you to do so. We have the link to the survey here, as well as the QR code. This really will help OCFS understand the current childcare landscape better. With that, I will pass it to my colleague, Chris Coons, who's going to walk through quickly a few other updates.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for being here. And this is going to be a wrap up in the Sirius Express lane. Next slide, please. And I apologize, Andres, in advance. So this flyer for the next in our active supervision series training was sent out to all last week, and I just wanted to draw your attention to it. There are new training dates scheduled beginning on November 3rd and running through December 19th. If you are taking advantage of Veterans Day as an opportunity for professional development day for your staff, there are 2 sessions scheduled for that day. So if you follow the link on the flyer, you can click to register. And again, this is the second in the series, and the focus of this is on environment and staff supervision. So please consider joining us. Next slide, please. So these 2 posters are new allergy awareness resources that have been added to the allergy awareness tab on our website. Elijah Silvera's parents, Thomas and Dina, have been our partners in this initiative since its inception, and these 2 posters are creations of their foundation in Elijah's honor. So just drawing that attention that they have been added to the allergy awareness tab on the website. Next slide, please. The OCFS quarterly newsletter was distributed in October, and another will be coming in December. It too is in your inbox, your program's email inbox, and if you need an additional copy, it is posted on the OCFS website. All of these communications and resources are available in English and Spanish. Next slide, please. And then this is a recap of all of the recent Dear Provider letters that have been distributed. On September 18th, there was one that talks about emergency preparedness and fire prevention. The Safe Sleep went out on September 25th. The important note in that is that the State Department of Health has revised the guidance on EBCs of Safe Sleep, so please review that with your staff and families. Global Diversity Awareness Month is a new Dear Provider Letter topic for us that just offers some additional ideas on how to create inclusive spaces for children in your programs. And then Competent Supervision again went out on October 3rd and the 17th and includes the flyer for the trainings that are coming up starting next week. And then Teal Pumpkin Project went out last Friday, which is another way that we can support children with allergies during the holiday season. So if you haven't seen them, please give them a look. All of your regulators have received this information and are excited to talk to you about it during their inspections. Next slide. If you have any questions or want to send us some suggestions on future topics for community conversations, please submit them to the mailbox. And we thank you all so much for being here with us today and wish you a wonderful rest of the week.